What's going on, everybody? This is Leno. We're going on 2 weeks without me doing my weekly updates, so I figure I go ahead and knock these out. I've been kind of busy doing my Drake videos. I'd like to thank Drake for giving me the opportunity to get my views, watch hours, and likes up. But without further ado, we're going to go into our comics that are going to be released this week. We're going to be talking about these comics. We're also going to be talking about, excuse me, we're also going to be talking about a little bit of X Force 50. We're going to catch up on what's going on in the X-Men comics right now as well. Without further ado, let's just get into the comics that are going to be released this week. All right, so we've got Batman Dark Age issue 2. We've got Conan the Barbarian issue 10. Excuse me. We've got Wolverine Madre 4, Knights issue 3. Star Wars Darth Maul Black, White, and Red issue 1. We've got Universal Monsters Creature from the Black Lagoon Lives issue 1. We've got Jackpot and Black Cat issue 2. We've got the Six Fingers issue 3. We've got Feral issue 2. We've got Star Wars Jango Fett issue 2. Dawn Runner issue 2. Spectrograph issue 1. We've got Once Upon a Time at the End of the World issue 14. We've got Rare Flavors issue 5. We've got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 119. We've got the Predator Last Hunt issue 3, which I will be grabbing. I'm collecting the Predator Last Hunt series. It's not bad. Let's click into this. We've got the bloodiest chapter of the Predator yet. Theta goes to all-out war against the Predators, guns, grenades, guts, and above all, glory. I'm glad. I'm happy. Something has to happen. To me, this has been like a bit of a slow build-up with the first two issues. There's a little bit of explanation, but it's not like too confusing. Considering this being a Predator comic, it's it's been these first two the first two issues were a bit of a drag, bunch of explanation, but I mean, I guess you have to develop the story, the setting, the time frame. I believe we're looking into a 2066 time frame in this comic book series. So I'm not going to spoil everything for you, but I'm going to enjoy this to finally see some action if this is the case, considering the overview of this issue 3 of the Predator Last Hunt issue 3. All right, moving on. So, okay, why in the hell? Okay, why did these comics just shift again? Okay. All right, so we got the Ultimate Spider-Man issue 4. We've got the Amazing Spider-Man issue 48, Detective Comics 1084. We've got the Wolverine 48. I will be grabbing the Wolverine War. So what I found out was regarding the Sabretooth War. The X Force issue 50 that came out 2.5 weeks ago, maybe three. That this Wolverine takes place uh, after the scenario. So this Fall of X, the timeline of the Fall of X is kind of jumps around a bit just to kind of catch you up. But like if you were following the X-Men, the X-Force series, all of these issues are running candid with each other simultaneously. As you can see, moving forward on this first half of this row at the end here, you've got the you've got the Avengers issue 13, which also is running congruent with this Marvel's story. This cover itself, looking at the Avengers 13, I don't believe this is the Iron Man. I believe this is the Tony Stark's. They're involved with the Sentinel program as well. So we're looking at probably more heroes and mutants going up against these armies. Moving on, we've got Marvel Gods issue 7, The Flash issue 8, Rise of the Power of X issue 4. In the Rise series, we've got Duke issue 5. We've got World Tree issue 9. We've got Harley Quinn 39. Right freaking now, stop what you're doing. It's about to go down. This is it. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue 1 150. 150. This is the last issue before the relaunch, which isn't necessarily a relaunch. They're going to be starting a new, it's a continuation of the series, but they're going to be starting at issue 1 this summer. A bunch of TMNT content for comics is going to be dropping, as well as action figures. Think it's about to get serious out here. All right. So look, every as it says here, everything has been building to this double-sized celebration, and here at the end will return to the start. Donatello has been searching for his future self to understand how he can fight Armageddon. Now, knowing where he is, or should we say when he is, Donatello is racing to his past to convene with his future. Can we get there and learn what he needs to before Armageddon eats the TMNT out of the timeline? This epic finale from writer Sophie Campbell and a roster of other all-star artists pays off on years of IDW storytelling, reckoning with the history of the Turtles while also setting the stage for the next mutation of must-read TMNT comics. As a matter of fact, even the past Mirage Comics has a bit of some Easter eggs and candid moments that were fused into this IDW series itself. This is the Cabal. This is the Pokeball. This is the Kamehameha. This is the spirit bomb of TMNT Comics right now. Even if you're not a fan, I recommend getting this issue, getting this 150 issue to at least resell it, guys. And they have a lot of incentive covers as well to go along with it. I want this cover right here. Hold on. Come on. Come on. Come on. This is the cover that the Leno wants. I might get it tattooed on me. I'm not going to lie to you. This artwork is just phenomenal. It deserves to be inked on the Ibate. I think this will probably cost me $1,000 just to get something close to this. I wonder if that's Kitsune up here. I would think that would be Kitsune. Go figure. Go figure. All right, let's get back to the comics though, right? When we showing stuff. I mean, I gotta show love to TMNT. That's what I do, baby. Hit that like button for me too, if you don't mind. I would appreciate it. I don't get that many views for doing these weekly updates. This is just something personally that I do myself. There's other videos, other content I can do that gets me more view, that gets me more attention, more statistics. But I just have a passion for comic books, guys. So I would appreciate helping me out with the algorithm by hitting me with a like and a comment. All right, moving forward, we've got we've got X-Men Forever issue 2. We've got Superior Spider-Man issue 6, Monsters 51, Blade issue 10. This is also a really cool. This is a must grab for Blade fans out there. Blade versus Adana, round 2. Fatality. The Adana already ruthlessly defeated Blade once. But after honing new vampiric powers and gathering an army of dead, Blade is ready for a rematch. New ability alert. I'm going to say this again. Anytime a character gets new abilities, new car, new uniform, new outfit, gets a new sidekick, a new anything, it is always good to grab these issues for reselling purposes. It's always good to pay attention. If you can't afford every comic, at least be aware of what your favorite character has going on in these series so you can get to the money, to the bag. The cool thing about a comic book, it's like worth $4 to $7. You can resell that joint for at least about like 40 to 50 on the low end. You dig? All right, you get a CGC, you know, you get a CGC, you get an incentive cover, and you'll be in the game. Your incentive cover looks like this right here, my friend. All right. This is the Lionel Francis Yu variant. I think I'm getting good at pronouncing these names, by the way. All right, moving on. We've got Batman the Brave and the Bold issue 12, Power Girl issue 8, Penguin issue 9, Spider Punk, Arms Race issue 3, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver issue 3. We're going to start scrolling. For the Dick Tracy fans, I got a new series that just started up. All right, I'm not trying to spend that much time on the comics, to be honest with you, guys. All right, we're going to take some time out here now to show some love to TMNT. For their road to 150, getting to issue 150. This is the time. Now's the time to be alive as a Turtle fan. As you guys know already, the Turtles is trying to come out with a mass amount of content with the continuation of the Mutant Mayhem movie. They have a TV show they're working on. We've already have confirmed that they're developing a Last Ronin video game. We also have it confirmed that an R-rated Last Ronin film is in the works as of right now. We already have confirmed that they're going to be doing a continuation of the TMNT 2002 or 2003 series. They're working on developing that continuation itself. We've got all these action figures coming out. We've got about like four, no. We've got about five. We've got, no, let me just get to thinking. Yeah, we've got about 5 different comic book series of TMNT that's going to be starting up. Actually, 6 because the Untold stories is also running candid to that as well. Who knows what they're going to do, if they're going to do a part 2 of Usagi TMNT to go along with that. So TMNT is about to push the market thanks to the success of Mutant Mayhem and all these action figures and getting all these kids out here. Without further ado, we're going to pay some homage to some of these custom artwork people that does little extra to the action figures of TMNT. Let's get it. I can't play the music that much, but there we go with a little Leo action. A little bit of shading added onto the IDW Raphael figurine that I still have to purchase. Let's just keep it moving. I really like these figurines. Look at that. That's pretty BA. Marvelous Legends art. Yeah. There's real figurines out there, guys. I really like this one, though. I got to find out. Friday Morning Adventures comic book series.
So if you were to read the
boom,
first 6
boom,
issues,
boom, boom, boom.
like
We're out here.
5 issues, something like that, of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic books put out by
IDW.
You would have a story that's going on in the present day with flashbacks to things that happened over a year ago, and still you don't get a full origin for the characters until like the very last issue in that series.
Thank you.
And it's because you kind of have like the action driving things, but you're able to slow down and let characters interact and get to care about them. And then you go back and fill in some of those details. But it's not like, it's clear that it was there to begin with. It's like no one was writing this and going, well, we'll figure it out later, you know? So if you were to read the first 6,
that's all. We're just paying doing some TMNT, paying homage. Pigeon Pete. Show some TMNT love out there, guys. You know.
Hey, this week I made IDW Mikey, and I'm gonna show you how I did it. So I have this bootleg Michelangelo that I got off Amazon, and then first step I want to sand down his cheeks, so I'm using my Dremel. And first I use sandpaper, then this is like a polishing stone, it just takes a little more off. Then I went to my nail file to kind of finish the job and get anything that's left. That's a microfiber cloth that I just use to wipe it down. Now I have some recently boiled water and softens up the plastic and the rubber of his belt because I want to take his belt off. And while his chest is still warm, it's easier to make some marks in there with my scalpel. Now, while that dries, I move on to making the nunchucks. So this is a skewer, and I just marked it off, and then I scored it, and then I cut it with scissors, but I go around with the scissors to continue where I scored it before I cut down. And now I'm sanding just one side of each I need flat, and I'm marking in the center where I'm going to drill a hole with my handy hand drill, which is one of my favorite tools. All the stuff I'm using, including the figure, you can find Amazon links down below. Now, you might get this, but it's a round plastic twist tie, and I just super glue that into the maybe 1.5 millimeter hole that I drilled. And then I decided his face still needs more sanding on the cheeks, so I did that, and then I marked off on his shell there so he has some grooves instead of just a straight flat crotch area. And then I move on to, this is another stone, but it's smaller so I could get in the round curved details, and then the nail file to finish the job. And I'm just sanding the whole thing a bit so that it takes the paint better. That's like a hard plastic, different than in the original toy. But now I cover everything with an acrylic matte varnish because that gets it ready for painting. It works as my primer, and I'm going over the whole shell with a sap green because I want to get a dark base for the shell, but it doesn't have to be perfect. But it's good if you don't drop it and get the paint all on your hands instead of the shell. And now I'm going all the details with a burnt umber on the plastron undershoot chest and in the cracks and details of the back shell and on his pads, and where some spots on his pads don't have any paint, so I got that with the burnt umber. Then I move on to a raw sienna. Now I'm dry brushing the raw sienna on the shell, and then I do the sides with the raw sienna as well. And I move on to a cinnamon brown, and I'm just going lightly over all the pads and the burnt umber spots, and now doing a light dry brush just on the edges of where the grooves of his shell are to help bring everything out more. I like put a lot of colors on the
This is
shell
getting
and bring
pretty
out all
darn
the
cool. I'm not
details I
gonna
can.
lie. I
And
like custom. I like people
now
who
I
customize
mix a white
figurines.
acrylic primer with a
These are the
black
ones I'll take
acrylic
out
to
of
thicken
box.
it up a bit,
I'll pay
and
for and take out
painting
of box.
his
This is the stuff I want on
wraps.
the shelf.
He's going to get more wraps
Anything just
later,
like
and then I also
raw.
paint over
I'm
his
not taking
eyes and
raw
his
figurines out of
bandana.
the box and
Just
like
there was
and
a
just putting them
bad
up.
orange on there,
Yeah.
and it's going to pop out more since I
If we're gonna
did a
open,
bit of
if we're yeah, if
it
we're
with
gonna
hand.
bust
It's
open that
easier to
box,
do the eyes if it's all white on the inside, and then you put as much as you want. Now I mixed two greens and a turquoise there to get the color I wanted for his skin tone, and I started covering everywhere with that. It was Christmas green, a hunter green, and some turquoise that I got for that color. And I think it came pretty close to the comic book color. He's the darkest, and he's got a little tinge of blue, but it's still pretty green. There he is again. I put a picture, like a reference picture, in the middle of when I'm changing what I'm doing. It helps. I didn't mean to paint this part of his leg, but sometimes I get in the zone painting and I just look for anything I can paint before I put the color away. And now I'm on to, it's a pure pumpkin I'm using for the bandana. And then I was really careful to just get over the bandana, and then I remembered in the reference he's got more of a wider mask there, so I went out of the line just to add like it's a bigger piece of cloth. Now I'm gluing down his shells. And my favorite part, this is when all the details really start to come out. I'm using a daffodil yellow. It's just kind of a muted yellow, and I'm going over all the edges and especially on the sides of the shell. That's where I start, so it gets the most paint and it picks up all the details.
Shout out to
Because
On Green
it's
Show.
such a light yellow, it works everywhere pretty much as my highlights. It really brings out all the details in the shells now that I add this highlight coat, and even on the pads I can use it just because green and brown and yellow all kind of go together, so that worked out well. And now I'm back to the
I'm
burnt
gonna try and get
umber.
in touch
Just
with
did a
this guy
white
and
coat
see if he
on the
can send me some
nunchucks. I
custom
just spread it
figurines.
out as much as I can. I want to leave it kind of darker in some spots and lighter in some spots. That just adds some age without having to do anything else. This is an old shoe. I really like this shoe, and it didn't wear out on the outside. It still looked alright, but on the inside the insole was glued in, but beyond the insole the actual rubber sole had like a huge, like deep imprint of my foot, and it was
Dutch Boy Professional Series.
Let's go, man. I take people who I will always like appreciate and support people that are into what they are into. This is what this guy likes to do. Why not support him, right?
causing me pain and issues, so to get rid of them. But I thought I liked the material, I could probably use it for something, so I use it for this belt. And well, all of their belts are gonna get the same leather from my shoe. It's not the end yet. It could have been, but to make the extra bands that I painted white just in case anything shows through, but now I'm wrapping with the hockey stick tape, and it's a fabric tape, so it's gonna do what I needed to do and look like fabric wraps and match with the plastic fabric wraps that are molded that I already painted white. So now I covered these with a lot of my matte varnish and I let it dry for like an hour because I want it to become more like plastic.
All right, you're looking at this process, right?
Fabric. And then I do
He's using real plaster. He's using actual materials combined with the figurine itself.
The same white that I'm painting and have already painted the rest.
I have no problem paying a decent amount of money for this much work being put into a statue. At this point, it's not an action figure; it's a statue.
Tape and then plastic that it already was. Because this leather material is thicker, I make the pouches just by having a strip and then gluing it, like folding it once and then leaving enough to fold the flap over. And then on some of them I put a little, I don't know, a strap that holds it shut, because he has them in the comic book.
He does.
But I like
this is pretty freaking cool.
Now, the piece that I put to hold his nunchucks, I trimmed that a bit so it fits better with the belt. Now I do another coat of the matte varnish over all the places I just painted, and it's still not done yet. This is a brown wash. I add some orange. It was burnt umber, a drop of black, and then orange because I wanted it lighter and brighter. And then I just put a bunch on and then wipe it as much as you can kind of off, but it'll stay more in the cracks and the details and make everything pop out more, because he's got some brownish dirty wraps on in some of the pictures. Different artists draw the
That's
wraps and
BA.
stuff different, but that's what I was going off of. And so thanks a lot for sticking with me. Next week I'm going to do Jenica, and until then, remember, always keep your head up. Peace.
I need a Jenica figurine. Paying homage to the boy On Green Show, man. Thanks a lot, Bucko. Made the decision just now that I'll probably do something separate for the X-Force and X-Men, etc. to give it its homage, but I really wanted to pay as much homage possible to the TMNT for the road to 150. This is really what this stream's about. I should, to be quite honest with you, I should have freaking done a TMNT discussions, which can still happen, but I'm waiting for this issue to come out and get my guy back in here, so be on the lookout for that soon. But check this out.
Best action figure.
Dark Leo, bro.
Just tracing.
This dude did Dark Leo.
And I traced the swords because I'm gonna make. I'm starting with the accessories, and I took off his belt and stuff using hot water to heat him up, and I cut two of the bags off, glued one shape, and it's got red inside. So
In case you don't know, for you Leonardo fans, this is the Dark Leo.
thread, so it's
This
just
is
thicker
freaking
than
cool,
regular
bro.
thread, and then wrapped it around his sheaths.
That's what he's supposed to look like, guys.
He had some straps for the. He already had some straps for the things that he's got on his arms.
Custom
now
Dark Leo. This
so
is
I realized that's why I only put one, because he has two in there. And now I go
this
back.
dude made a custom Dark Leo, guys.
Brighter silver that he has on all his.
I need that from
pads
him.
and stuff. Then
I need to know how much he charges for the Dark Leo.
And he's ready? No, not quite, but he's getting ready. He's almost ready. I cover everything that I just painted with the matte acrylic varnish. Then I stick everything onto him, and now he's ready. Yeah, but this one took me a while. And
Congrats, buddy. But that'll be it for me as far as today goes, guys. I appreciate y'all. Be sure to hit that like and that bell for me. Y'all have a good day. It's time for me.